Middle of something. I'm Dr. Shraddha Deshpande. I am a consultant plastic reconstructive and aesthetic surgeon with Wokhart Hospitals, both the Mumbai Central and the Mira Road branch. I'm available here. I have done my MBBS from KEM Hospital, Mumbai, and then I pursued MS in surgery from Krishna Hospital, Karat, and followed by super specialization in plastic surgery from Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital, Pune. And following that, I've done fellowship in aesthetic surgery from Instituto de Benito, Barcelona in Spain. And I was in New Zealand for a year for doing my fellowship in microsurgery, specializing in head and neck reconstructions as well as breast reconstruction. So, following that, I have been associated with Wokhart Hospital since the last 2.5 years, and I have been handling cases including the reconstructive surgeries as well as the aesthetic surgeries. So, in aesthetic surgeries, we perform a lot of body contouring surgeries like liposuction and brachioplasties, and a set of surgeries which is called as mummy makeover, which is one of my favorite kind of surgery, and I would like to talk about it today. So, what is mummy makeover? To tell about you in brief, during pregnancy and after delivery, a woman's body undergoes a lot of changes. So, these changes can occur right from the face, the hair, to her breasts and abdomen, to the entire body. So these are physiological changes, and since women are gifted with motherhood, I think we should cherish these bodies. But obviously, after a point of time, all women feel that they wish that they could go back to their original shape. So this is possible with a series of surgeries, which is or non-surgical procedures as well, which is called as the mummy makeover procedures. So, what are the procedures which are included in this particular series? Most commonly and most importantly, a tummy tuck surgery is included. Then, a breast reshaping procedure that could include either a breast lift, a breast augmentation, or a breast reduction. Then there could be some vaginal tightening procedures which might be included, liposuction procedures to reshape the back or the thighs or the arms, and some facial rejuvenation procedures. So these entire series of procedures are called the mummy makeover procedures, and they can be performed at the same time as well, or they can be performed in stages as well. So let us know about each type of this procedure. So the most important type of procedure in mummy makeover surgery is the tummy tuck procedure. So what happens in a tummy tuck? So to know about it, we can think about what happens in pregnancy. In pregnancy, the mummy's abdomen increases in size, and after delivery, the tummy goes back to a certain extent. But as we know, the skin and the muscles, they all expand during the pregnancy, but they do not go back to its original form, and they remain slightly enlarged, or they remain slightly loose. So we might have seen that there are a lot of women who are not pregnant, but they look slightly pregnant even after the delivery. So this is because of the loose skin and the loose muscles which are there in the lower abdomen. So what can we do about it? So in a tummy tuck procedure, we remove the entire amount of skin which is there in the lower abdomen, and we tighten the muscles which have gotten loose because of because of the pregnancy procedure. So this actually improves the divarication of recti, which may be commonly seen in women, and it improves the core strength of the women as well. So it is not just a cosmetic improvement, but a functional improvement in the body structure as well. So there are various types of tummy tuck procedures, and not every woman needs the same type of tummy tuck procedure. So some women may be having there might be some extra amount of fat which might be there in the flanks or in the saddlebag region, or there might be some extra amount of fat on the back. So we can combine a liposuction procedure as well along with the tummy tuck procedure. In some women, there is a lot of looseness in the middle part of the abdomen as well. So we do something called as a fluidally abdominoplasty, which is removing the horizontal as well as the vertical extent of the excess of skin in those procedures. In some women, they are quite thin and they have regained their initial body weight, but there might just be a loose amount of skin on the lower abdomen, and even the muscles might be tight enough. So in such cases, we do something called as a mini tummy tuck procedure. So what happens to the belly button in these cases? So we might have seen that because of the pregnancy, the loose skin, the belly button also gets deformed during after delivery. So for mummy makeover, we reshape the belly button and actually create a new and well-defined belly button in such cases. So that is one of the procedures which is included in a tummy tuck procedure. So moving on to the breast reshaping procedures, we commonly perform a breast lift procedure which can be done at the same time as the tummy tuck procedure. So we see that after delivery or after breastfeeding as well, the breasts may become deflated or sagged because of the initial increase in size. So such if the woman does not desire to have an increase in the volume, we can simply perform a breast lift procedure in which we just excise the excess amount of skin and we lift the nipple areola complex to its original form. In certain women who might desire an augmented appearance, we can perform augmentation or enhancement of the breast with either fat, or we can do it with implants as well. In some women who are not happy with a very much of an enlargement of the breast after the procedure, after the delivery and after the pregnancy process, we can even perform a breast reduction. So various breast reshaping procedures can be performed simultaneously along with our tummy tuck procedure. What are the other surgeries which may be performed? So we can perform a facial rejuvenation procedure which can be done either surgically or non-surgically, which may be including, so there can be a prominence of nasolabial folds or tear troughs, giving a tired appearance after the pregnancy. So in such cases, we can perform a facelift, a non-surgical facelift with fillers. We can relax the muscles of the forehead and give an eyebrow lift to such patients with the help of Botox. And in certain patients, we can even perform a surgical upper and lower lid blepharoplasty, which can also give a refreshed appearance to such patients. Similarly, cosmetic gynecology has also been one of the important key factors for mummy makeovers. So in certain cases, we see that there is a loss of vaginal tone after delivery, and this can also have stress urinary incontinence in certain women. There are various non-surgical approaches as well. For example, we can use certain lasers for improvement of the vaginal tone, which can also help in women regaining their initial vaginal tone, or we can even perform certain vaginoplasty procedures in women who may be a right candidate for that. Along with that, we can do certain procedures like labioplasty, or we can do hymenoplasty in certain women who would desire a certain whichever way they desire their genitalia to be. So these are the certain procedures which can be included in the mummy makeover surgeries. And any questions would be welcome from your side.
Okay, ma'am, you mentioned about the tummy tuck procedures. So this tummy tuck procedure is done immediately after pregnancy, or it has a certain duration, or it can be done anytime?
Right. So usually after pregnancy, after delivery is a very busy time for a woman. She is busy with her baby and the care and the uptake of the baby. So obviously for 1 to 1.5 years, the baby should be the priority of the mother. At the same time, the body undergoes certain physiological changes. So we need those physiological changes to be complete before we plan for any surgical procedures. So ideally, I would say 1 to 1.5 years after the pregnancy, a woman can go for any mummy makeover procedures.
Ma'am,
Another point
yeah.
which I would like to say is
Yes.
that we would ideally advise these procedures to be done once the family is complete. So if you're planning for a second child, it would be better to wait for the second child and your family to complete, and then you can plan for mummy makeover
Okay.
procedures.
So ma'am, liposuction is a part of a tummy tuck procedure, or is it different? And is it
So
done at the same time?
most
How?
of the
Yeah.
time, liposuction is included in a mummy makeover procedure, in an abdominoplasty procedure,
Okay.
to give an enhanced shape, body shape to the female. So we usually do a 360-degree liposuction, and it definitely enhances the results of a tummy tuck surgery.
Okay. Ma'am, some females opt for breast implants. So
Right.
is there a shelf life, and what care they should be taken?
Right. So breast implants are not permanent,
Hmm.
and usually their shelf life can range from 10 to 20 years.
Okay.
So once the implants have been put in, a woman should have a regular checkup from her female physician or a gynecologist or her plastic surgeon to make sure that they are in proper condition,
Okay.
and uh, eventually after 10 to 20 years they may develop certain issues like capsular contracture, and they may require a replacement. So
Okay.
usually the shelf life is 10 to 20 years.
Okay. So ma'am, all these procedures performed are separately, or they are done at the same time?
So these procedures are mostly done at the same time. So usually it's a combination of 2 to 3 procedures which are done at the same time,
Hmm.
and they are called as the mummy makeover. But obviously they can be done at different stages as well.
Okay. So ma'am, and who is an ideal candidate for these procedures?
Yes, so an ideal candidate or the ideal age group which I have seen over a period of time for this procedure is usually women from the age group from 32 to 50 years of age group. So
Okay.
these are usually the healthy active females who are quite motivated. So they are undergoing diet and exercises, and they are healthy in terms of even their BMI is
Okay.
in normal limits,
Hmm.
and they are not suffering from any diabetes, hypertension, or any other medical issues. So these are the ideal candidates for going forward for this procedure.
Okay. And ma'am, if somebody is planning for this procedure, how long after pregnancy that they should be planning this?
So as I said initially as well, after the pregnancy, they should wait for at least 1 and 1.5 years for all the physiological changes of pregnancy to settle,
Okay.
and then after that she can plan for for mummy makeover procedure.
Okay. Ma'am, is this a permanent procedure, and do people gain weight after going through these procedures?
Right. So it is a permanent procedure.
Hmm.
For but yes, if they do not practice a healthy lifestyle later on, they can put on weight in certain other areas.
Okay.
So obviously we would want patients who are well motivated,
Hmm.
and even after the surgery they perform the regular diet and exercise plan, and then obviously they can maintain the results of their surgery for a long time.
Okay. So any particular diet that they should be following, or exercise regime? Is it compulsory that they have to go to a gym, or they can just do plain walking? So please, can you suggest something?
Right. So it is just basic dietary advice, which would be to avoid any fried or any salty food, to avoid eating after the time interval of 7 o'clock or later in the night, to avoid late nights, to drink enough water. So all these basic healthy practices of diet should be performed. So we wouldn't expect somebody to be eating junk food and a lot of sweets and then expecting their results to be maintained. And another thing is, it's not necessary for them to be going to the gym as well. Just a normal active lifestyle with at least 30 minutes of walking every day is good enough for them to maintain the results.
Okay. So, ma'am, after doing these procedures, can one become pregnant again or breastfeed?
Yes. So, in certain patients who have already undergone an abdominoplasty, they at times wonder whether they can get pregnant again. So, yes, they can get pregnant again because this surgery is performed in the superficial tissues. It is performed in the skin and in the muscles. So, they can actually get pregnant and go for a normal delivery as well after undergoing this procedure. But obviously, we would want them to get this surgery done only after they have completed their family. And same goes for the breastfeeding as well. So the breast implants or the fat grafts are put in a plane which is under the breast tissue. So again, they are free to perform breastfeeding even after they have undergone breast implant surgery or breast enhancement surgeries.
So, ma'am, are there any risks involved or the care that the patient should be taking after such kind of surgeries are performed?
Yes. So this a mummy makeover procedure is a surgical procedure, and there is a significant downtime also associated with it.
Okay.
So usually we would advise women. So the question was how much is the recovery, right?
Yeah, recovery and the risk involved.
In the risks
Risk,
involved.
yeah.
Yeah. So in any surgery, there is a risk of bleeding, there is a risk of infection, and there is a risk of scarring in any kind of procedures that we do, and we usually explain these risks beforehand to the patient as well.
Right.
And the recovery time, usually after the procedure, we advise them to avoid lifting of heavy weights for at least a month. So but they can start with their regular work even after 1 week after the surgery.
Okay.
And they should avoid any heavy duty gym exercises or anything for at least 1 month after the procedure. After the surgery, there is usually some swelling in the area, and over a period of time the swelling subsides in about 6 to 7 weeks time. We usually give them certain pressure garments which also help to alleviate the pain as well as to support their body and gain the new shape which we have designed for them. So usually the downtime we would say is about 6 weeks, and the results are they are seen over a period of time. So the scars, they fade over a period of 1 year, and eventually the results get better and better over a period of time.
So after that, they can perform all their regular
Regular
activities and all. So
activities,
they don't need
regular.
to follow any particular regime and all. So they are fit like back to normal.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So, ma'am, what is the usual procedure, like duration of stay in the hospital? How much time is it required?
Right. So once all the investigations are done and the patient is fit for surgery and they get admitted, they usually admitted on the day of the surgery. And if we are performing a mini tummy tuck, it's a daycare procedure. The patient can go home the next day. So even procedures like breast lift procedure or breast augmentation are daycare procedures, and the patient can go home on the same day or the next day after an overnight stay. A complete abdominoplasty along with breast augmentation or breast reduction may require a longer duration of stay, up to 3 to 4 days. And they might be drains which might be kept in. Usually the patient is discharged after removal of drains.
Okay. So, ma'am, does one need to take any precautions again during the surgery?
During the surgery?
I mean to say after the surgery. I'm so
Yes,
sorry.
yeah. So precautions would mostly be in form of avoiding of heavy weights, because obviously now we have removed
Because of
a large amount of skin. We have tightened the muscles. So we need to allow the muscles and the skin incisions to heal. So any heavy duty exercises, lifting of weights should be avoided. Eating of any food which may cause bloating or late nights, and so those things should be avoided basically.
Okay. So, ma'am, since this pandemic time is going on, so how is this performed during these times, and are there any additional tests that one has to do?
Right, so we have been performing these surgeries now, even after most of the cases have reduced, the COVID cases. So we have been performing the body contouring and mummy makeover procedures,
Okay.
and to make sure that there is no COVID infection either inside the hospital or coming from outside, we usually perform a COVID test before the patient gets admitted, at least 72 hours before the procedure. Once we have confirmed that the patient is COVID negative, only then we admit the patient. We also perform an HRCT chest to confirm that there is no involvement of the chest, as in certain patients the COVID test may be negative but the chest involvement may be there.
Okay.
So we need to confirm that the patient is COVID negative before they undergo the surgery.
Okay.
Even in patients who have previously been COVID positive and who wish to undergo the surgery, we would advise them to wait for at least 3 months for the entire spectrum, basically the entire symptomatology and the disease process of COVID to be completely healed before they undergo any surgical procedures.
Okay. So, ma'am, just a little bit more information on what is cosmetic gynecology.
Yes, so cosmetic gynecology is coming up in a big way,
Hmm.
and a lot of women desire, uh, especially vaginal tightening, because there is a loss of tone which we see over a period of time, and there is also an element of stress urinary incontinence, which is seen in a lot of women.
Okay.
So, in cosmetic gynecology, we can perform various procedures which are directed towards the female genitalia, which could include labioplasty, which is a reshaping or excision of any enlargement of the labia, which can be the labia minora or the labia majora, which may be causing some hygiene issues. And we can perform procedures for vaginal tightening, so they can be surgical as well as non-surgical. And for non-surgical procedures, we usually go for the non-surgical ones before. Only in severe cases with incontinence, we go for the surgical vaginoplasty procedures. So in non-surgical procedures, we usually use lasers, and usually we see good results in even for functional issues like stress urinary incontinence.
So, ma'am, it depends upon case to case basis whether it will be a surgical case, I mean to say a surgical or a non-surgical procedure.
Yes, so we need to assess the patient first, and then only we can decide whether the patient needs a surgical or a non-surgical.
Okay, so it doesn't
procedure.
depend upon the patient.
Right,
It totally depends
right.
upon the condition of the
Yes,
patient.
yes, yeah.
Okay, so ma'am, one more question: what are the facial rejuvenation procedures, and which can be done for mummy makeover?
Yes, so we see that over a period of time, because of the hectic schedule, a lot of women they suffer from uh, a tired face, an angry looking face.
Yes.
So non-surgical facial rejuvenation, I think, is coming up in a big way and can really help women to look relaxed and refreshed. So, in non-surgical facial rejuvenation, we can perform procedures like Botox. So, in Botox, we perform Botox for relaxation of the forehead lines, as well as for the crow's feet, and for relaxation of the angles of the mouth as well, so the depressor muscles. So in general, that gives a rested and a refreshed look to the women. And these are completely outpatient procedures. They are lunchtime procedures. They can be performed with minimal downtime, no downtime as such at all. The patient can go back to their regular routine right in the evening. The results are seen in a week's time, and they last for at least 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
So this is with Botox. and we see that there can be a deepened tear trough, or there can be dark circles and prominent nasolabial lines, or we can see there is drooping of the cheeks or drooping of the angle of the mouth,
Right.
or dryness of the lips, which may be seen in a lot of post pregnancy, post delivery women. So for them we can use various types of fillers, and that also is a lunchtime procedure which can give fantastic results, and the results last for 1 to 1.5 years at least.
Okay. So, ma'am, for some when there is an hormonal imbalance, that time also some of them put on a lot of weight and all. So,
Yes.
that time, do you recommend any of the procedures?
So yes, first we would recommend them to visit a gynecologist or an endocrinologist,
Hmm.
and get their hormones in balance, and
Okay.
so we would suggest that first, as to probably that could be limiting, or that could solve most of their problems if you
Okay.
do that first.
Okay. So, ma'am, if somebody wants to plan, because majority of the time it does happen that a mom does put on weight.
Right.
So, before she goes in for a pregnancy, means during her 6 to 7 month time, does she need to visit a surgeon wherein post her pregnancy that she can plan it accordingly? When is the
So
right
I
time
would,
basically to
yeah,
visit?
yeah. So I think women should be more aware of their body, of
Hmm.
their diet. They don't need to really visit a surgeon
Hmm.
for this advice during their pregnancy.
Hmm.
They just need to be more aware of their body, as and I think nowadays women are quite
Health
aware about
issues,
these
yes.
things, about what diet they should take
Hmm.
and everything. And for the at that moment, the nourishment of the baby is most important. For them to have a healthy and safe delivery is most important,
Hmm.
and obviously we are here to resolve their issues after the delivery.
Right.
So these issues should be addressed only after the procedure. They don't need to visit a surgeon
Before.
beforehand, but
Okay.
obviously we would advise them to have regular diet and exercise even
Hmm.
during their pregnancies.
Okay. So as you said, once the family is complete, then they can think of these procedures.
Yes, yeah.
So, ma'am, to summarize, what message would you like to give to the audience?
Yes. So my message to the audience on the eve of this Women's Week is that Mummy Moiko procedures are very much doable, and they are safe, and they can be performed with they are quite safe. So obviously I think if somebody desires, they should definitely go for it, and obviously every woman has a right to look beautiful. So that would be my message, yeah.
Okay.
And look beautiful, feel beautiful, and be confident. I think a confident woman is the most beautiful woman.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for your
yeah.
valuable time,
All right.
ma'am.
Thank you.